Pam, I really felt the urge to connect with you because I realized how important the work is that you're doing here. And having experienced bio-neurofeedback myself,
Right.
I was like, whoa, this is special. We'd love you to share the experiences that people are having as they're coming in here to the EEG Institute. Now, somebody's walking in with post-traumatic stress from an event in their life. What's the first thing that happens to these people?
Generally, what happens is a veteran will come in and have an evaluation, which is several hours long, where the clinician really focuses on what kind of symptoms they're dealing with that are really the biggest problems. Mm-hmm. They'll come into a room like this, mm-hmm. where they sit in a chair for half-hour sessions. The clinician attaches electrodes to their scalp that don't put anything into your head. They only read your brain waves as they're coming out. And at the same time, the client is watching a monitor, and they can choose to watch a video game or a movie. Basically, the information coming out of their brain is embedded back in what they're looking at. So as they're watching it, for instance, when I do it, I'm watching a movie.
Yes.
And when my brain is not at the right range of functioning, when it's doing something dysfunctional, which will cause, in my case, a migraine, it gets visual feedback because the picture shrinks down and lightens. It gets audio feedback because the sound gets quieter. And then we have tactile feedback as well. We have these teddy bears that you can hold on your lap, and they vibrate, they kind of purr when your brain is doing the right thing, and when it's not, they don't. Because when the brain is working in the right range, it's more effective, you're more clear-headed, dysfunction falls away. It's easier for the brain to operate in a more functional range.
Yes.
And so the brain just learns to do this, and it's like riding a bicycle. Once it's learned it,
trains itself.
Exactly, yeah. And once it's been trained to do it, it constantly goes back to that new standard that it's made for itself instead of the old one, which is dysfunctional.
Can you just share your own personal experience?
Well, yeah, I was working in the entertainment advertising industry for years, and I had migraines throughout my life, but they were getting much worse and really lowering my productivity, as well as being, really, really bothersome. I'd taken a lot of different kinds of medication. I'd been through a lot of different things that weren't really working. And somebody recommended that I try neurofeedback.
Yes.
And I mean, literally in 2 months of sessions, I really didn't have another headache. When I saw how effective this was for me personally, I wanted to find out what they were doing here. Why didn't more people know about this? And when they started to tell me the amazing work they're doing with autism, and ADHD, and sleep disorders, a whole variety of things that they have really, really been effective with. I just said, well, I want to help get the word out about this. It's amazing. This is a group of really dedicated people who want to help a lot of people, but they don't have huge backing. So on my own way, I said, what can I do to help get the word out? And when I heard that they were having such good results with PTSD, which is incredibly close to my heart for a lot of reasons, I said that's what we should focus on in terms of getting the word out. So we created Homecoming for Veterans.
You're CEO of Homecoming for Veterans.
Yes, and we created it about 4 years ago. And it's been almost entirely supported by the EEG Institute. We have great hopes that the work that comes out of Homecoming for Veterans will grow and grow and grow, and we'll be able to help more and more people. The Italian soccer team did neurofeedback before they won the World Cup. and the Canadian Olympic Committee adopted neurofeedback as part of what they were offering for all their athletes before they had their Olympics, and their medal count went way up. It helps everybody in whatever they're doing in their life to function more effectively.
So beautiful. I mean, you also talked about ADHD and autism. So what results are you having with those two conditions?
I'll just give you one example. When I first started coming here to deal with my migraines, there was a very young, severely autistic girl who came in who could only say one word over and over again. But literally within about 4 sessions, She was saying complete sentences. You see amazing things happen.
So the founders, can you just talk about the inspiration for them to do this work with their son?
Siegfried and Sue Othmer were very successful scientists in other fields. Their first son was diagnosed with severe brain dysfunction. It was a long time ago before a lot was known about the brain. Now they would have diagnosed him with a lot of different problems, Asperger's, Tourette's, explosive rage disorder, and they tried a lot of different things, but there wasn't a lot that could help him. He was on different medications that would really limit his ability to function in other ways. And someone they knew found out about the sort of genesis of neurofeedback trials. They took their son and saw such miraculous success with him. He got to the point where he could actually go to college and live on his own. I mean, this was impossible before. That they decided they wanted to devote their lives to it. Developing the technique, the supportive software, I mean, everything that they could do to make this a more effective technique for people who need it and to get the word out about it.
We've taught in about 10 countries. And in all those countries, there's a foothold now where this is starting to take off.
Brilliant.
We want to see this technique as being implemented as early as deficits are identified.
Absolutely.
We get right at the core of what is amiss, which is this basic organization of the brain, of the cerebral networks. We ourselves don't understand that yet. It's a new frontier. The fact is we don't have to.
No?
The brain sees the information, acts upon it, and heals itself. And that is just a totally amazing process.
This newest technique is called infralow frequency training, ILF training, that the Othmers have developed. So my recommendation, if you're a veteran and you need help, would be to go to our website, which is homecomingforveterans.org. And I just wanted to recommend that if anyone wanted to find out more about neurofeedback, the Othmer's website is eeginfo.com. And there's some wonderful videos on there that are very basic that explain how it works. There are a lot of about specific disorders, autism, you know, there's a lot of information there that can be really helpful for people, all the research that's been done for people to dig into it a little bit more.
Fantastic.